Chatters podcast. It's our Thanksgiving special. And so this is a place where we avoid topics like politics and religion. So next time...
Unless we don't.
So when you're at
We're going to stop saying that?
So when you're at the Thanksgiving table and your Uncle Tony starts ranting about the Catholic Church or the conspiracies or whatever, you pop your earbuds in, tune them out, and you...
Listen to old Rusty Chatters
Listen to
podcast.
Rusty Chatters
Dude,
podcast.
I legit have a Catholic Uncle Tony.
I went to a
crazy.
Catholic wedding this weekend.
Hey, and you know
It
what?
was dry.
And talk about your Thanksgiving Day. Hey, when
That's a very odd thing for a Catholic wedding to be dry. I'm gonna be honest
that
with
is a very odd thing for a Catholic wedding to be dry. The last Catholic wedding I went to, I got trashed. It was a good time.
you. Yeah.
But that's besides the point. When you are out and about driving around, going from house to house this Thanksgiving because you have a broken family, tune into Rusty Chatters and tell your friends.
Okay,
Yep.
so let's get right into the meat of the cheeks, right in between them titties. All right. So, Spencer.
I hope there's no kids in the car.
Okay, guys, if this is your first time listening, I get a buddy, Spencer, that's very blunt, very in your face, don't give a fuck, and is very unmoved sometimes. And he told me a particular story about the first night he had hooked up with a girl, and he went into the pantry to get some food at her house one night.
Oh my God!
I'm not familiar.
All right. Well, this is about
Okay.
So anyway, so I had this is I think maybe about the second time that I went over to her house, and I barely made my acquaintance. It was late at night, with her parents and so on, and I think I just got off work maybe, and I didn't have any like real good clean clothes, so she decided, hey, I'm gonna wash your clothes for you and all this stuff like that, that way you have something to wear tomorrow. I'm like, all right, sweet. I did have like a clean pair of underwear with me, and so we're sitting there hanging out, doing whatever, and the next thing you know, I'm like, well, hey, I'm kind of hungry. I want me a snack. And so her room was upstairs, and, downstairs they have this big walk-in pantry, and I'm the type of guy that likes to make himself at home, start digging through, looking for the Chef Boyardees, and,
No lie.
And that type of thing. But I didn't have any clean clothes to wear. And I'm thinking, it's late at night. I guess I'll walk down there with like complete impunity and not worried about anything. And so I make my way downstairs. All the lights are off. I walk in the pantry. I start getting me some kind of snack of whatever. So I flip the light off and I walk out to the kitchen. Lo and behold, who's there? Her fucking dad. And I'm sitting there like no shirt, no pants, just underwear, barefooted as fuck.
And let me paint it, guys. Spencer probably didn't react. He just looked up. She's like, "Oh, what's up, dude?"
Well, I'm gonna paint a picture for her dad. Her dad is he's about
massive.
He's about 6'5", 6'4". He used to be a bodybuilder. He's still yoked out the frame, big dude. Works with his hands, welder, and all this other stuff. So, at that moment, these are game time decisions you got to make. So what do you do when you catch yourself red-handed? You act like you belong there. You know what I mean? And so I walked,
arrogance, right?
And so,
Hey, Dad.
And so anyway, I walked out. I said, I was like, "Oh, what's going on, Mr. So-and-so? How you doing, man?" He's like, "Oh, what's up, Spencer? You doing all right tonight?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm doing pretty good."
Doing pretty good, man.
It's
like scratching your fucking
yeah.
balls.
I'm sitting there. I've got my hand so deep in this bag of salt and vinegar chips, and just like eating, and. And I knew, I was like, I legit had the oh shit moment in my head, but but the thing is there's nothing I could do. This dude totally whipped my ass, And so but like I said, you just be respectful, act like you belong there. And so I was like, "Hey, what's going on, Mr. You doing all right tonight?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I just got done out there at the shop. You all right, man? I see you down here. You ain't got any pants on or anything." I was like, "Yeah, Mr. Well, you can bleep that out."
Yeah, I'll bleep it out.
But anyway, I was like, "Yeah, she's washing my clothes right now. I didn't have anything to wear, and I didn't realize y'all were still up, so I came down, grabbed me something."
Our sex got our clothes extremely sweaty. She had to clean.
It did. But
and your daughter's soaking. Know what I mean?
God, I hope
Really know how to grow 'em.
I really hope he doesn't hear this.
This is all in jest.
Yeah, but anyway, and then he comes and he's like, "Hey, man, I do have an extra pair of pajama bottoms or something like that if you need them.
And
you're
like, man, what's with this pants issue, man? What's so wrong? God damn with the pants, man.
I was like, why are we still on this?
How's your night, man? How you been?
God damn, I'm just trying to get some chips, man. I got to big old shit, too, man. Where's your bathroom at?
No, you should have just told him, nah, dude, I'm good. I'll just wait.
Oh, that'd been some shit if I was just like, nah, man, I'm good. I ain't about to keep these pants on long anyway. You know?
Oh, gosh. But I hope he doesn't hear this.
Yeah. But anyway, I love him. I love him so much.
Dude, let me tell you what you
But
don't
anyway, and so he goes back and grabs me a pair of pajama bottoms, hands them to me. You know, I'm like, all right, thanks, Mr. You know, whatever.
You put them on right away in the
I
kitchen?
put them
or
on
you...
right there in front of him.
Yeah.
You know, just to let him know that I did.
I just imagine, because this guy's so big and intimidating presence, his fucking chest sticks out. He's built like Randy Orton, people. You can imagine that. Just big old Randy Orton.
Or just a silverback.
Or that. And
You know.
he's just towering above Spencer. Spencer's a tall guy, and he's just towering above him looking down. Spencer's like a little kid in his fucking drawers just digging in some chips, looking up at him like, yeah.
Like, scratch the underside of my nutsack.
Scratches, and I was like, yeah, I don't know about the pants thing, man. I'm kind of enjoying these chips. And
I hate to get
my
crumbs
hands are a
all
little
over your
full.
clean bottoms.
Reach
Yeah.
in the kitchen, open up the fridge, get a handful of shredded cheese, just eats it in front of him.
Yeah, just like pass him up, walking to the refrigerator, you know. Just
Oh,
start
yeah.
opening
just
something.
start asking all the wrong questions. Hey, man, how much money you make a year? Hey, where's your bathroom, your personal and that? Hey, you got any colognes? As a matter of fact, I'm about to go back upstairs. You know what I'm saying?
Crack's the only beer in the fridge.
Can we just talk about the type of gambler that Spencer is?
That's a fucking gambler. Oh my god, dude.
Well,
Like, there's just a thing, like, to take the worst case scenario, and you're like, you know what? That's not going to happen. It's late.
Yeah,
And
I
the
mean,
confidence just to go down there and then hold a casual conversation.
nah, dude, it's
Let me
all
tell you
about act like, dude. If you're speeding past the police officer, don't slam on brakes.
I tell you what, Spencer
you keep
needs.
going.
Spencer needs to drop out of school, become a cop, join the SWAT team, and defuse bombs. That is a cool fool right there.
Cool under pressure, man.
That's a cool fool right there, boy. I mean, this,
Wrong wire. Oh, well.
oh, fuck it.
He's a gambler.
I got a suit on for a reason.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, that was a legit game time decision though. like you got one or two options, you know. Either stand there and take it like a man, act like you belong there, or turn tail and run like a little bitch. You know what I mean?
No.
So I mean,
Holding his ground in the fucking pantry, boy.
but anyway, no, that was a wild thing. And then when I went back upstairs, I told her what happened, and she was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "He didn't beat your ass?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "I can't believe you did that. I really can't believe you
I
did
can't
that."
believe you either.
And
That is just...
Well, she knew I walked down there. She could have been like, "Hey, you should put pants on before I walk down there. My dad might be walking around." But she was like, "Nah, just let me do it, and whatever happens, happens."
Yeah,
know?
you should have been made about you. Like, what about me? Your dad fucking falls out for Ragnarok and shows up. He's gonna beat my fucking ass. Like, goddamn, swinging his fucking hammer all downstairs, waiting for some shit.
Hey, man.
Yeah. He's,
Oh, hey, Spencer, how you doing, man? Oh, man, me and him's best friends, though, for real, though, these days. I love him so much.
Uh-oh.
And he's such a good dude, for real.
Hang on a second.
And I'm not saying this in apologetics,
Hang on a
necessarily.
second.
Go ahead.
Well, anyway, I'm not saying all this in apologetics, per se. And, me and him's got such a good relationship these days. That man calls me all the time, talking about music and whatever else. And we best friends, man.
No, that's so sweet.
I've had a couple of those instances where I've, like, out of a bad situation, have become, like, best friends with somebody in power that totally like could have ruined my world.
Well, momentarily, I mean. you can find
Well,
out shit.
momentarily, I mean, you might can cut this if you want because we did talk about that on that one podcast that didn't air.
It's all right. Go ahead.
But I'll tell y'all about it again. So there was this one time that, I was at school. I was in my sociology class, and the professor, we were talking about, rape culture and stuff like that within the United States. And we're talking about just the bullet points, just how it works and this, that, and the other and whatever. And you know how I am. I like to be that guy on the other end of the argument.
The polar.
Just a little bit of a devil's advocate. But anyway, I don't like double standards. I don't like people that. I mean, we're all hypocrites at the end of the day, but I don't like it when it's just like so implemented into society. But anyway, so I brought up this argument about this poster that I had seen where it was talking about, let's say Jack and Jill went to a party Jack and Jill were both inebriated. Jack and Jill hook up and have sex. Therefore, because she was inebriated, she couldn't consent. Therefore, Jack raped her. And I was like, well, I told him about it. I was like, well, to be fair, they're both inebriated. Therefore, neither of them can consent, correct? If we're going around this world of logic.
He was making the point of like, one's drunk, I get it, but
Yeah.
they're both drunk.
Yeah, I was like,
okay,
if he was sober and she was drunk, then 100% rape all day. But anyway, I told him that, and he's like, so you're advocating for rape at this moment? And I was like, Jesus, what?
What a cut that was.
It was like, yeah, you just said it's okay to rape people. And I was like, whoa, I did not say any such thing. And he's like, no, you definitely did. Everybody,
he's getting the class involved. I'm like, yeah, you fucking.
He's like, everybody heard what you just said. You're an asshole. Everybody in this room knows you're an asshole now.
He's gonna have a fucking mob chasing him like the first Austin Powers.
Oh,
into
yeah.
the scene.
And I was like, whoa, that is. I kept trying to explain myself, but he just would not let it go. Because the thing about this professor is he did.
Punch him in the throat.
He explained to me later on that he had done some studies, I guess, because he was like psychology, sociology professor, so they do studies on that type of thing, social
He's
issues.
passionate about it.
And so he was real passionate about rape, you know what I mean? And but anyway, and so I was just so pissed off, but there was really nothing I could do at that moment. I was like steaming. I really couldn't compose myself, and I was like, I'm just going to sit here, wait till the end of the class, and I'm gonna
then beat the dick off of this.
And
man.
he was just grilling you the whole time. He's
Yeah,
like,
he was grilling me.
"Hey,
It
let
was
me
like-
tell you something about this fucker. Look at his haircut. God damn it, look at
And
his haircut.
the crazy thing is like this
Look
is at the
how
beginning.
large of a man he is. He's just don't go anywhere by yourself after this class, girl.
Yeah,
You
and
see those Nikes? That's the Nikes that rapists wear.
He's got a twitch in his eye.
yeah, but anyway, and so he was, and the sucky thing about it was this is at the very beginning of the class, and so
Oh,
I
that's
had to
nice.
sit there for like the next hour and a half, just like stewing. Yeah, I didn't write
Just glaring him down.
Yeah, oh man, I was so upset. I didn't write a single fucking note down. I was so upset. But anyway, and so so finally lets out of class, and I wait till everybody else walks out.
You got to fight that man.
And that's
As
why
soon as the bell rings. Ding, ding.
I walked up to him and I was like, let me tell you something. Don't you ever, and I was like pointing and poking him in the chest, like, don't you ever do some shit like that ever again. And I was like, you don't listen to what the fuck I'm saying. And I was like you're so wrapped up in what you heard and not what I was actually saying, And I was just like telling him about like my point. I was like, listen, if they're both inebriated, it's like, dude, I'm not trying to cause discourse. I don't advocate for rape. And the sick fact that you came out here, started saying the shit, telling me I'm an asshole and all this other stuff. And I was like, it's super unprofessional of you. Whether you're so emotionally tied up in this topic that you're so passionate about that any type of, not necessarily contrary argument, but something that doesn't fit the exact narrative that you have about it, you're immediately going into fight or flight mode. And therefore you're trying to, tear me down because you're a person of power, being the professor that so knows everything.
So in a way, you're raping me
Yeah,
right
it's like
now.
you're raping me at this point. You bent me over and fucked me in front of the class. But anyway, and so I ended up explaining it to him. I pulled up the poster, and he finally understood my side about it. And he's like, "Dude, I'm so sorry."
It's crazy that he had to finally understand. Like, how do you not just look at that and be like, you know what?
Well,
My theory
Well,
is he
it's-
probably had like somebody really close to him get
Well,
raped,
yeah,
or he
like-
did.
Well,
or
that's
something.
what I was saying. When you're so emotionally invested in something, the blinders go up for certain topics.
And his defense.
And so you immediately get put in defensive mode. And so anything that sounds like it's countering your argument, you're immediately, boom, right down the pipe, trying to shut it down. And so that's why I was explaining it to him. I was like, dude, I understand that you've done all this research, but the thing is, I told him exactly what I just explained to y'all.
Yeah.
You put the blinders up. You didn't want to listen to nobody.
Spencer's the type of guy to try to teach the teacher.
Well, and I did. I did
Well,
right
he
then.
took him to school.
But,
Kick him.
but anyway, and I told him about it. And
Long story short, Spencer did fail that class.
no, I passed it. Well, what I'm getting at with this is like this is another time where I ended up, becoming super close with somebody over like some discourse.
Oh, I was wondering where that was getting
And
to.
so after I got done talking to him, he's like, "Well, look, man, I'm really sorry about that. And after whenever we convene for our next class, I'm gonna apologize in front of the whole class and all that stuff." So he ended up doing it. Next class came around. He's like, "Hey, we had this discourse over that topic last week for my young man Spencer here." It was like, but me and him had a conversation. everything's good. And he ended up explaining what I was saying to the class.
So
everybody understood. And he's like, so I just want to apologize to everybody for what went down.
So now if like someone saw you at the bar, they wouldn't immediately like
try to stab me.
Cover their drink. You know
Cover the drink.
It's funny.
He's here.
In Spencer's, it worked out. And again, some of these are from. I'm gonna piggyback off of his topic.
Well,
but,
I was just gonna say one thing real quick, just about
this is a Thanksgiving Day special.
We
We ain't
ended up-
gotta talk about rape the whole time, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where people get raped at the dinner table, man. But anyway,
Jesus.
yeah, you get raped by the political topics that your uncle tries to pull up. You dude sitting there getting your ear
I don't
raped.
want to watch any
You
more of
don't
these
wanna-
videos.
If you
Uncle
don't
Tony.
want to be a part of something and you're forced to be a part of, that's rape.
Yeah, your mom drilling you with
Jesus.
questions while you're not doing nothing with your life.
But he ended up writing me a
Like
letter.
all I want to do is listen to Rusty Chatter's podcast. Like fucking A. Like what else is there to do?
But he ended up writing me a letter of recommendation, and I'd go out and hang out with his in his office, and we talk about Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, all kinds of stuff. Just having a good old time, nerding out over whatever. So me and him became like real tight after that. So
here's
I really like the way you stood up to
Here's
me.
another confrontational story involving a professor. However, I don't think it worked out as well. I haven't talked to the guy. And so there was this one day I was in class and got in the class kind of early. So I sat down in the class and doors wide open, people are coming in. And while I'm in class, I see this old fella. It's really weird sort of fella. He was had a strange accent, but it was very pleasant. I think he was Greek or something, but he'd walk by and he stops. And he's got these really peculiar looking shoes on. They're like, all kind of crazy wild colors. You would notice them, so I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So he's walking by the door. He goes, "Hello, Russell." And he waves at me. I was like, "Oh, cool." And anyway, I go in the bathroom, and I'm sitting there washing my hands. Just got done, and then I look, and I just happen to see those shoes again. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's old dude again. And then about that time, I want to come out, and a buddy of mine who's an engineering student at the time comes in the door and goes, "Let me tell you something about that motherfucker, Professor yada yada." And he just starts going off, and it just hit me. I was like, wait a minute, that is definitely him under there. And I couldn't really stop this guy because he was ranting so angry. And he's like, "I ought to push that dumb son of a bitch down the stairs. He don't want me to get at him." And he's just talking mad shit.
Shit.
He's talking bad about Greece.
While old boy's taking a shit.
Yeah, while old boy's just taking a shit in there. I was trying to correct him. I was like, "Hey, man."
No, he's already.
already
Once he's past that point, you gotta let him finish.
You just gotta let him finish. And he,
Speak up a little more.
yeah, he's just going. And finally,
Get it off your
I
chest.
get out, and then walk by again. I get back in class, and he walks by again, and I was like, okay, those are definitely his shoes. That was definitely him. I connected the dots, and I went and told him about. I was like, "Hey, man, remember when you were talking about like, burning Grease down and throwing him down the stairs and just being mad, disrespectful, talking mad greasy about that dude?" Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, well, that was him taking shit in there. I was trying to stop you, but you were pretty worked up, man."
You're pretty worked up.
Yeah, and I just wanted to let you go if like you get off your chest, but now you're going to have to get that off your back. 'Cause that fucking dude's, you're never going to get a passing grade again.
He knows your voice.
Yeah, and he passed him up, and they end up talking about it apparently. But I was like, I wouldn't have. I'd have
I would
just
have said
let
a
it roll.
fucking word because you have the level of anonymity of being in a stall. The dude wasn't standing up with mud butt, looking over the stall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he didn't stand up for himself.
Yeah. So
I mean, respectful though. He went back.
Yeah,
in.
it's respectful, but he had the anonymity of it. So I mean, he's just admitting being, "Hey, I'm the dick," putting a face to the voice. You know what I mean?
Speaking of being a dick at the inappropriate times, this is one more college one, and it's not a long one. But I was in class one day, and it was an electrical related class, and they were talking. The lady's yakking about God knows what. I mean, it's one of them classes where we just forget about what the fuck's going on. And anyway, I gave up because this teacher's one of the teachers everybody hates, gets bad ratings, whatever. And I've given up. The whole class has given up, and I'm sitting there writing notes, and I'm just broken down inside. And as I'm writing notes, I'm sweating, and this guy taps me on the shoulder and is like, "Hey, man," and he like slides his laptop over and he goes, "Check out these speakers right here, man. They good speakers, but they ain't worth what Amazon's asking for." And I just fucking died laughing, and I couldn't stop because here I am just struggle busting, and this fucker's just gave up, and he's looking at the speakers, and he's completely confident and calm in doing it. And I was like, I admire that, man, not giving a shit about your future.
I had some pretty crazy relationships with teachers. One of them was in middle school up in Oregon. I don't know if I've ever talked about this with y'all though. I actually like it's really weird. So I didn't know like until now what he actually is, but I won't spoil it. So I was I think I was like 6th grade or 7th grade, and there was a science teacher. I forget what his name is. He was bald like you two, and
You better be a cool guy.
yeah, dude, he had like a wart on his
You can
forehead.
either be really cool or very white supremacist.
Yeah, he was like a baseball coach, basketball coach, did all sports, and he was a science teacher, so me and him connected like pretty good.
I was a very good coach. I think he's all over the place. Knew a little bit about a lot.
Dude, he
not
ran,
a lot
he ran
about
several
a little.
teams. So after I don't know, probably like 3 or 4 months of just like getting to know him and whatnot, like really, really, really tight. Like we would kind of wrestle before we would go into like the classroom. Like he would kind of wrestle me, and
Uh-oh.
so
Jeez.
you know,
Back on
like,
Spencer's topic.
so one day like during lunch, he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, you want to go get something to eat?" And I was like, "What?" Like, really? Like, kind of like really excited. And he's like, yeah.
What a nice
I was like,
guy.
he's like, where you want to go? I was like, I don't know. I was like, Taco Bell, because I love Taco Bell, still do. And
Not since that day.
so like
that was a sad chalupa.
I'm in the car, like when we're driving down the road.
I don't think he's legally allowed to take
Yeah,
that.
He's not.
The diddler.
So, we're headed to Taco Bell, and I'm like starting to just think about like random things that my mom has told me, like when I was a kid. Still am a kid, but she's like, don't ever get into anybody's car without like my permission and me knowing. I'm like, man, I'm really like messing up right now.
Did she say unless we're going to Taco Bell?
Yeah.
I think she said that.
I feel like Taco Bell is like the very like overriding factor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all these thoughts are like kind of running through my mind, but I'm also like really cool with the teacher. Like
very cool.
We like broed up. Like, I felt pretty special because he always treated me really nicely, like better than any other, like the other kids.
Oh,
for
he
some
didn't
reason.
treat you as well as he wanted to.
So, we pull up into the driveway
Yes, he did.
of Taco Bell, and he's asking me, he's like, "Hey, what do you want?" And I was like, I don't know." He's like, "Do you want like a taco or do you want a burrito?" And before I could answer, he was like, I really like the burritos. And he he looks at me in my eyes when he says that, like in that type of voice. And I was like,
really like the burritos.
and I was thinking, I was like, motherfucker, I was literally about to say I want a burrito, but he made me feel so awkward. So I'm going to ask for a taco. Because I was like...
Just to be a contrarian.
Dude,
I'm going to get what I don't want just because he knew what I wanted. That son of a
so
bitch.
I'm like, tacos? Because I'm like kind of scared. So I would just say tacos. And after I said, I was like, man,
It's like,
dude,
damn, I
really,
figured you're more of a burrito type
dude,
guy.
I really wanted a burrito. And,
Little do you, just so you guys know, these are both simples for male and female genitalia.
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, I understood this as a kid. And it was just like the way he said it, like my heart started thumping and I like nervously said taco. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. And then we pull
Respect
up.
your choices.
Yeah. But he could sense it on my face because I was like, my initial reaction was just like so thrown back that the way that he asked that question. Because like, it's understood that tacos and burritos are genitalia. Yeah. And I was like,
It's understood.
it's understood. Don't ask it that way.
Taco Bell knows what they're doing.
So,
They're showing this to our kids, people.
It's like, if you want to out your local pedophile, go to Taco Bell with him and see what his answers are.
So
Yeah.
we drive off, we get the Taco Bell, everything like that. I get the taco that I don't want, and I make it back to school in one piece. And I'm like thankful, like super happy because I was like, that felt super weird.
Yeah.
And then, I still like chat with them, but it like kind of like grew apart because after that little incident,
Yeah, man.
it like made me feel awkward.
You were Batman. He
You
was
didn't
the
tell your mom about
diddler.
No, my mom still doesn't know. Because I don't want to freak her out about like Gracie and make her get all strict and stuff like that. But I'll probably tell her.
No, man,
someday.
drop the hammer. Ain't your problem.
Nobody in my family.
He was
listens
trying to
this.
drop the hammer, you know what I'm saying?
So,
Jeez.
fast forward to like 10 years, and it's my first trip back up to Oregon, and I'm like sitting there, and for some reason, we're talking about middle school, and I was like, oh yeah, I really like this, and that the story hit me, and I was telling my buddy Hector, and he's like, Michael. He's like, was that, so-and-so? I was like, I don't know his name. He's like, describe him for me, because I told him the story.
You were telling him
like,
the story?
Yeah. And he's like, I was like, he's bald hair, and he had like a wart or a mole. He's like, oh my gosh, that's, the teacher's name. And I was like, what? And he's like, dude, him and his brother had like child pornography all on their computer.
Geez.
And they were being accused of like these charges and whatever. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, they fled to Colorado.
Who
And
wants
they
to
ended up-
wrestle?
Yeah. They ended up catching them and stuff like that. But sure enough, I didn't find out until like 10 years later that dude.
Damn.
He was trying, man. He trying to
Oh
diddle
yeah,
you.
dude.
Yeah, he almost had me, and I was
Yeah,
like,
all
and
you
that's
had
why,
to
I
Dude,
did-
if you
I
went,
was
if
like-
you would have went with burrito,
I'm
you could
like,
have been a
if
whole
I
different
tell
Michael.
my mom this, she's gonna freak out so hard, and I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah,
"Ugh,
dude.
I can't. I don't know. I'll eventually tell her.
Dude, you were one sauce packet flavor away from fucking.
Bro, I didn't
man.
even
Can
get
we
my burrito.
stop with the diddle taco analogies here?
Dude, I was like super bummed. I was like, not only did I get like
He was
really,
super bummed he
really-
didn't get the burrito, but now he's all super bummed, you know.
Yeah, I was like, I felt like I was about to get my booty hole touched, and then I didn't get my burrito that I wanted. And
I was
it
kind of
just-
wanting the
it was
burrito, kind
literally
of
a
wanting my
bummer.
booty hole touch. You know, I didn't get either of them. I was like, damn it. That's the way it goes, man.
Oh man,
Oh,
dude.
that's like old Mr. And I'll
Oh, god damn it. You have to bleep that, but go ahead.
no, this is public knowledge. You can talk about that.
Oh, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, roll.
It's public knowledge.
Yeah, no, it was a public case and everything like
diddler.
that, you know. And Mr. shout out to you. You know, if you're listening, you still were my favorite teacher, even though you're a diddler. But nah, I don't think he wasn't a diddler. I don't want to say that, but he was.
But he might have been.
Well, the thing that happened with him.
He wanted to diddle.
We talk about this.
Did we talk about
Yeah,
this?
we talk about this. It's on the second episode at PRA Spencer's house. But it's cool.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Uh,
Let's just have repeating
Well,
stories here, Spence.
My bad.
It's but
Yeah.
I mean, I also got another cool one that's not so depressing.
well, here, since
This one happened in college.
Since this is a Thanksgiving Day special, I'd like to talk about a particular event that happened at Thanksgiving.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So my family and I, or my dad and I, visit Huntsville. You know, we used to visit every year, not as much now that I'm
You just
married. and
visit
got
the
my
city, or you have people up there.
There, my dad's childhood friend lives up there, and he's got about 5 kids my age, or my age-ish. And there's another guy named who we'd go up there and hang out with. And he was in a fraternity and all this, and he's got a cousin that's in a fraternity and all this stuff too. And anyway, listening to the podcast, we make a lot of jokes, but we're, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't really do anything, right? I don't use drugs or substances. I have no judgment. People do. It's just not something I'm
Into.
been around.
Yeah, as you're judging all of us for the beer.
No. It's
But
like,
yeah, I mean, I see the.
I mean, a lot of my friends, drink and smoke weed. That's not a big deal, all right? It's not going to ruin your fucking life unless you go overboard with the. But anyway, I was riding with the cousin to this after we had had Thanksgiving. There was like a frat party that night or something, or maybe it was the night before Thanksgiving. I can't remember, but I just remember riding up this guy, and he was and he was on vacation, and we were in the parking lot of the fraternity, and he looks at me and goes, "Hey, man, me and you have been on like a." Really close family basis. We only talk about certain things. We laugh and smile. We eat fucking stuffing together and all this. But hope you don't judge me right now.
I was like, is he about to come out to you?
No.
No.
He goes, hope you don't judge me right now, but I'm about to do some cocaine before we go in this frat house. And I was like, Jesus. And he just literally is like, yeah, don't judge me. And he just busts out a bag and puts it right on his little armrest in his truck. He just starts doing line after line, like Scarface in this motherfucker. I've never seen this up close.
He didn't even
I'm like,
sneeze.
and I'm just so intrigued by it. I was like, God, you close one nostril or you just huff? And he's like, nah, man. And I watched this guy probably do a good 8-9 lines of coke.
Holy crap.
Just going. I mean, you're talking about credit card links, just.
Dude, he's lucky he
Just-
didn't have fentanyl on that. That
No,
bro.
fentanyl.
Well,
would've
this was like 20.
yeah, that's before
18,
people was wasting their
17.
good fentanyl.
But he's just going back to back. I've never seen coke, but I'm pretty sure you don't do like 8 lines. I'm pretty sure like a bump will do you, right?
been- I mean,
I don't know. But
You're
that
asking-
dude, he was.
you're asking a bunch of
yeah,
noobs
I've never
here.
done coke, but I mean, in the movies, I've seen it done like
Any of
once
our
or
listeners,
twice.
write in, let us know the proper amounts of coke.
Yeah,
you
how
do on
many
a
how
single
many
night.
coke lines do you do if it's credit card long, and how thick would you say?
Out of the words we've dropped today, this is why we're never going to get sponsors. We've said diddler, we've said rape, we've said cocaine all on one podcast.
No, we're just weeding out the
We
bad
just
sponsors.
mispronounced
We can
rap.
still. Sherry's Berries isn't going to
Yeah,
sponsor
yeah.
us, but damn, Raid Shadow Legends.
Yeah.
They're gonna be on-
Rage.
Oh
man.
yeah. This
Talk
podcast is brought to you by Raid Shadow
Talk about
Legends.
Dillards though today. So
Say
You know,
diddlers or
Dillards,
dillers?
Dillards,
Oh,
Dillards. Like the
Diddlers.
clothing store.
Diddlers, like diddling.
Oh,
Oh,
not
okay.
Dillards.
But you're getting.
I,
really
I
thought-
swear he said
I thought
Dillards
he
a
said
couple
Dillards
times.
for
I'm
sure.
talking about getting diddled.
Okay,
Diddly-doo.
but
All right,
we're
so,
talking about fondled and the finagled. You know?
I'm
So,
talking
uh,
about Black Friday $60 coats. You talking about fucking with balls, That's what you're talking about.
Yes, fucking with balls.
Okay.
Or I mean, you can diddle anything. I mean, you could diddle a bag of chips if you really wanted to. Like, get in there, and you mush
Whoever
them
gets
all
the
up.
rocks off, you know.
You get all the flavoring on the bottom there. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
Diddle me timbers.
Yeah.
You
No,
go in there with them Cool Ranch Dorito hands, you know what I mean?
Hey, shout out to Weston.
But no. So today, I flew in from Denver. Got on the airport. Went to the airport today, and flying back home, and downstairs, like TSA pre-check was like super busy, and they're like, "Hey, you can go upstairs," and it's like there's not a fucking 300 people in line. I was like, "Oh, that sounds great." And I go upstairs, whatever, and I immediately go through line. And but granted, going upstairs at Denver Airport is a 30-minute fucking walk. But I got upstairs and I'm going through TSA pre-check. And I set all my shit down, take my shoes off, whatever. Everything's in my little baskets going through the X-ray. And I go through the machine. They make you put your hands up in the air, whatever, and they do it. And as I'm walking out, the guy's like, "Hey, hold on." And I'm like, "Oh, what's up, man?" And he's like, with his glove. I'm like, "Oh, fucking A, right." And,
Come on, cowboy.
And I'm like standing there. He's like, "Oh, no, not you." And like, I guess they got to like pat down like, every other person or however they do it, whatever. So, "Oh, not me." And I was like, "Oh, man, I thought we was about to have some fun." After like getting that look, he's like, "Nah, man." he's like, "Nah, man, your stuff's coming out the machine."
He's like, "Come on, man, I'm already half torqued here, man." You got me excited.
Oh yeah.
He should have not even asked anything when he says like, "All right, man, step up" or whatever. He flops the glove on, just immediately drop trowel.
Right there, for everybody.
Just drop
the
trowel.
ankle.
And then let him figure himself out. Of
I'm
that,
like, if you're watching, they're watching. You know what I mean, man.
It's like, man, I'm so.
But no, he got a little laugh out of it. I was like, "Yeah, man, I thought we was about to have some fun." Cause he was straight up so who puts their gloves on like above their head? But you know what I mean? That just means you're about to diddle.
That's
I was about to tell that man to go ahead and get the hook in there, do a little bit of wiggling around, man, get me going.
I'm telling you, TSA pre-check definitely aren't using no petroleum. There's no jelly in this back office.
They're whispering in the ear and everything.
You can't give the terrorists any kind of leeway. You can't give them any kind of pleasure of the full cavity check. You know what I mean? You got to go in there raw and uncensored.
I've had great times with TSA.
Do you think they honestly do like full cavity checks like TSA?
Fuck yeah, they do. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
You got to check for a bomb.
How do they do it? You think you're standing up or laying down?
Nah. Probably bend your ass over.
Oh man.
Just like bend down, touch toes.
Touch your
Really?
toes.
I mean,
You're allowed to do that.
well, how do you enter?
Yeah, usually face down, ass up.
Yeah, exactly. the same rules apply here. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, my doctor never wanted to do it that way, which I was kind of disappointed in.
Oh, you've had it done before?
Oh, dude, I've had suppositories. Some that I needed and some that I wanted, but I mean,
Jesus.
Oh man, I'm just kidding. No. I will talk about that. By the way. Okay, so
Put no Easter egg up there, boy.
let me tell you.
We didn't
Oh,
jump
do we want to
holiday
change
over here.
TSA subjects? Because I actually had a pretty good time at TSA. It was like this year, actually.
Getting
Well,
diddled.
I've got a really good story here. That people
Is it
might
about
like.
TSA?
No, but it's about.
Oh, we're here.
Well, it's about this. It's about the same topic.
It's about fingers in the bum.
All right, so like probably
really?
what's the worst experience a nice young ripe 12-year-old could ever have?
Getting diddled.
Getting diddled, or just anything to do with like rectal type of
I've showed a grown man my asshole once. It was very uncomfortable.
But it gave me $2.
I could hit the snack machine. Hell yeah, that's a win-win in my book. Anyway, so back my 8th grade year, I ended up having appendicitis, and
Appendicitis.
yeah, my appendix almost ruptured. So I went to the hospital and all that. And so what they have to do is they have to, scan your abdomen and figure out what's actually going on before they actually knew I had appendicitis.
Scoped you.
Well, yes, they scoped me. I think it was a scope. I don't know, but anyway,
Could have been his
It was
wiener.
wide or whatever it was.
So the reason why they had to do what they had to do is
It's better the first
because
try.
what they do is like before you go in to get scanned, what they'll make you drink this liquid.
Oh.
And I was so like sick and in so much pain and all that stuff, I couldn't keep any of it down. I kept throwing it back up. They tried like 2 or 3 different types of lining drinks or whatever it is they give you in order to line your intestines. And so they tell me, it's like, all right, man, you can't keep any of the stuff down. We're going to have to, go back here and get this done the right way. And I'm like, what does that mean? And they're like, all right, we're going to need you to put on this gown and strip down. I'm like, all right, whatever. So they take me in here to the MRI machine. or whatever type of scanning machine it was. And so this old lady, she's in there with me, and she tells me, "All right, look, we're gonna have to get you to turn over." And I'm like, "Why?" and she just turn over, lift your leg.
This wasn't pleasant for her either.
Oh, it wasn't pleasant for her either. And she's like,
Come
"No,
here, baby.
listen, child, this is what we're gonna have to do."
Baby
I'm
boy.
like, all right. And so she grabs she puts her glove on. Once she puts that glove on, I knew what was up, and I was like, "Oh fuck." Because they wouldn't give me any kind of like prerequisite like information
I
of
feel like
what's about to happen.
that's good information to know.
Yeah, especially as like
Lift
a
your
little
leg up.
12-year-old. It's something I'd like to know. This is a whole new world for me. I'm not a seasoned young, man at this point.
Did they give you a pillow to bite on?
Not until you got that tube shoved up in you.
Yeah, but anyway, and so what they had to do is she had this probe or whatever. So she lubes up my butthole a little bit, and then and she
You were
grabs
so
this.
stiff and tight.
Oh, dude, I
God.
was, dude. I was, dude.
Tell you to relax. Put your hand on
Yeah,
her shoulder
and
just so you
so I got
relax.
my leg hiked up and all that, and she shoves this probe. It probably wasn't no more than 2 inches long, and maybe a centimeter or centimeter and a half like thickness. Not big at all. But let me tell you something. I thought I was getting rammed.
You
That
were
little-
squeezing.
that fresh, young, supple butthole. And
But it had dude
and
all
so
over
what
it.
and so on top of that, so she shoves in. She's like, "Now look, this is what's going to happen. You see this big bag right here? Like this is a big like gallon bag of some kind of fluid that they use to line your intestines so they can see it in the imaging."
Nice.
And so she hooks up the pump and starts jizzing this stuff all up in my butthole. And so this stuff has to coat the entire length of both the small and large intestines. That's like what, 26 feet of intestines?
Yeah.
Greatness.
Something like that. And so I was sitting there for like 20 minutes just sitting there getting just like pumped full of, Dr. whatever the hell this is.
Did
Juices.
you feel it filling up
Just,
back there?
dude, it filled me up, man. Oh, man. And so then she was like, "Well, now I'm going to have to get you to lay on your back." And so I've got this full belly, of just stuff. That's
Little
inside.
HGH gut going.
Yeah, HGH gut going. And then I have to like lay, and this, probe is like in my butthole, and I'm on my back,
Still
and
in
so,
your butthole.
and so it just
she
puts
didn't
that
take it out.
pressure in there. No, you have to leave it in there. And so now I have this like 30 or 45 minute process of like going in and out of this machine and holding my breath. I'm about to lose my mind. Like generally, like any of those tests, it's not a big deal. But like with this thing in my butt, and I'm like full of syllogism, I don't really, I don't really know what to do here. And so like she like puts me. It's like when we go in, you gotta hold your breath. I'm like sitting here, just like hurting down in my underside. And,
underside.
yeah, and I'm like holding my breath for seemed like 3 minutes. It wasn't that long, but damn, in that type of situation, it sure felt like it. And so this whole 45-minute process comes around, and then she pulls me. I was like, "All right, now we gotta get it all back out." And like by this time, I'm already freaking out.
How'd you do that? She pushed in her tummy and just came out.
No, she hooked the pump back up, put it in reverse, and sucked it all back out, dude.
Ow.
And this is another 20-minute process of getting the shit sucked out of me. Ew. And oh my god, dude! Like towards the end of it, I was like legit about to start screaming. I was just so frustrated and like pissed off. Oh my god, that was like the worst experience ever.
That's right.
I must have been
That's
13
right.
then. I must have been 13. It was like 2007 or something. I don't know.
It
2000.
doesn't change the fact they had that
Besides
tube wedged
the point,
in his ass.
Yeah.
I was a very young boy.
I don't know. Around that same time though, I wound up had like a bloody stool, and I was like, "Oh man, there's something wrong with me." Get on WebMD. I'm like, "Oh, I have a hemorrhoid."
Went to Ask Jeeves at that time,
Yeah.
see what he had to say.
Oh yeah, I got on Meat Spin. I was like, "Oh, this is the same thing these guys got." You know what I mean?
Jesus.
But no, for real, I had like a bloody stool, and I was like, you know what? Like, there's something wrong with me. I need to go to the doctor. I was like, I think I have a hemorrhoid. I go in there to my local doctor right there in Grand Bay, and I'm like, hey, I have a hemorrhoid. And ironically enough, this was back when you remember the band Perry?
Yeah,
don't know
Dr.
if-
Perry.
Dr. Perry.
Yeah.
You remember the band Perry? They like,
Yes.
sink me in the river.
Yes.
Yeah, that song. If I die, yeah,
Yeah.
that song.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so he's
her dad was Dr. Perry.
Okay.
yeah, and he was a doctor, and then they all was very very well off in the family.
Words of a love song.
Yeah, that song.
Yeah, well, so I go in there and I'm like, yo, dude, like, hey, this is what's going on. He's like, well, I'm gonna take a look at it, see if you got a hemorrhoid. I'm like, the fuck? And I might have been older. I might have been older than like 13. I was probably 14, 15 at this point in time. I was And I was more mature for my age, or at least,
You had a full beard, I know that.
you know, I had mature language going on at least. And like, oh, this guy's like, oh man, this guy's about to look at my butthole. And I'm like, all right, man, I guess that's what you got to do. And so he put me in a gown. Which I don't understand why you got a gown. Like I couldn't just pull my pants down. Like it would have been way easier. Like the gown makes it very inappropriate. I feel like.
You're looking really naughty over there,
invasive.
boy.
It's a lot more invasive wearing a gown than just.
Yeah.
Trout.
You have less control of the situation in a gown.
Well, at least you have better movement of your legs in a gown. You can get away a lot better than your pants down your ankles. Getting.
Yeah, I know.
True.
But what looks better? Like you sprinting out of there in your actual clothing, or like in a gown with your ass cheeks hanging out?
I mean, honestly, it's
Well,
probably
like I
harder
said,
to
you have a
catch you
lot-
when you're naked.
It's probably harder to catch you when you're naked, man. Get a good sweat rolling, get all like slippery.
Yeah.
But no. So
Like a little
all right.
pig.
So he lays me on my side. I'm like laying on my side. And he like. So, hey, man, if you might just grab my hair and take a look. I'm like, yeah. So, spread my cheeks for him.
Yeah, Barry does have a supple ass, so he's got to move it out of the way.
Well, I was a little skinny guy back then. That was
That's
before
true.
I got in squats. And, he's like, he like looked at it for a second. He's like, man, you ain't got a hemorrhoid. And I'm like, fold it back down real quick. And I'm like, and he's like, yeah, man, I don't do that at all. I'm like, to fuck?
I just want to look at your asshole.
And I was like, why do I just have to go through that? Because I'm like all embarrassed. It's weird, man. Like some dude looking at your asshole. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
it's like hell at that point in
Believe
my time.
you
Like
me.
no one's even seen my front side at that point in time. You know what I mean in my life? And I'm like, the fuck is going on? This is weird. Like he told me he wanted to look at it. Now he looked at it. Now he said he didn't really want to see it. It's like,
I was kind of upset at that point. I was like, I'm exposing myself to you, feeling all vulnerable. Now you
How
don't want
dare
it.
you?
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. From 11 to 14, hell, even probably 10.
Well,
Really.
I want to know what was wrong with you. What was wrong with you? You
no,
have
no,
just
no,
an anal fissure?
He assumed I just like ate something, like maybe didn't chew it thoroughly, and like something cut my insides, and I just bled a little bit.
Yeah, it happens
It's like,
to the best
hey
of us.
man, I got a headache. All right, drop those trousers. Let me see that asshole.
Well, you are the doctor. You know best.
Yes.
Hey, but so from the time I was about 10 to 14, I had this thing where I'd say about 9 to 13. My mom, anytime I was getting a checkup, would be in the doctor's office, and I'd make her look away if nurses ever had to like fuck with my balls, whatever. But from about 9 to 13, 10 maybe, anytime a female nurse touched my nads, I'd get a boner every single time. I couldn't control it. It was embarrassing. Good thing you started waiting. Telling my mom to wait outside after about 11. I was like, Mom, she wouldn't look. Obviously, she'd turn away because I always told her. But either way,
Every day you're sounding more
Dude.
and more like Alex Jones.
I feel so bad for you. I
I'll tell
remember
you
like
something
my exams. I would just think of
I'm gonna be
like,
honest with you. Yeah, but no, it was just weird because like I used to just pop boners, and for a while it seemed like I had the hottest nurses, like some old South Alabama chick. I'm like 12 years old, and she's just like diddling me. I'm like, oh please no. Oh, there it is. Oh, look at it. It's in your face. It just happened. I mean, you couldn't.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I used to get just pop
I'm
boner
so
every
The
time.
same reason you pop boners, in the middle of class for no reason. Just felt like coming out
It
to
was
play.
just for whatever reason. I
You don't
had
remember like popping boners? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Do you ever remember like going over to your girlfriend's house like back in like grade school, whatever? I'm just calling grade school, just any of those
13.
grades.
yeah.
Any of those grades, and like, all right, like it's like one of them real strict families. Like you can only hang out on the couch and living room with everybody else. And like she's just sitting next to you, and you're just like fucking rock hard.
whole time. Whole
And
time.
like holy fuck, I really love this Wally movie, but holy shit, can you do something about this?
Just touch my knee.
Yeah, like
Yeah, it's like I'll just walk around with stained pants, man. It'll be fine. I just need to take
you're,
care of
You're
this.
so hard, it just makes you nervous and you can't focus. Like, my God.
Well, all your blood's elsewhere.
yeah,
at
you're just
that
like
point.
looking around, like, what are we watching? Fucking
Yeah.
Wally? You know, what is
So you got to take a poop and go to the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I haven't done that. Like where I'm just like at some girl's house and go jerk off in the bathroom and come back out. No, that's weird.
yeah, right.
Well, let's take care of the bone. right.
Super
yeah.
weird. Yeah.
No,
weird.
you
I've
no,
never
because
done that
Never
before.
then it's not
Never
gonna be
done
as
that. That's
sensitive,
crazy,
and
man.
you just like you keep rocking it out to see if she's eventually gonna grab it.
No.
Well, at that young of age, you ought to have plenty in the tank. You know what I mean? You just run back at it and won't have a problem.
Yeah, you did. Back in the day, like when you first started having sex, like how many fucking rounds could you go?
millions.
Dude, you
Like,
just
dude,
go
you
and go.
give yourself like.
That thing be in so much pain, you just keep rolling with it.
Oh no, you could like literally like not to get too much into detail, but to get into detail.
But to get into little detail.
All right, you could blow, and that thing would still be there, and then you could rock through the next one. and then you would need some downtime. Like I remember those days.
You guys can't see it, but Bear's up here dropping uppercuts as he speaks. He's like
Bear,
painting this picture of this just stiff member just hammering.
Just stop watching pornography for a little bit, man. It'll go
Why would I
away.
want to stop watching pornography?
Because, man, you're too stimulated. Get yourself desensitized for just a week, maybe 2 weeks.
I have.
I mean,
It's
you
been a whole
say
week.
that, but like I'll be out in the woods
Okay,
for
maybe
a whole
longer,
week, and
depending
then,
on
like,
how bad it
then I
is.
just feel like masturbating in the woods, with
Yeah.
nothing.
Can't take this guy nowhere.
Oh, look, the squirrel's sniffing it.
Like a reference to our last podcast, guys just yerking it in the back of the cop car. Just can't take him nowhere. You know?
Yeah, they can nowhere, man. I've jerked off in the woods plenty of times, man. Y'all ever had
Yeah.
sex in the woods?
Yes, and on the beach, and on a tennis court at Dolphin Island
Wow.
at nighttime.
That's crazy.
Wasn't
I've been all over up and down Dolphin Island, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I
Any
have too.
spot you can think of, Dolphin Island, park, bench, sand, all
Oak tree.
Yeah, they used to go.
bird
I
sanctuary.
ain't gonna say who,
Bird
but
sanctuary.
I used to get wild at Dolphin Island. Man, it was a good time.
Right.
Hey, Michael. Back when we were talking about like the professor thing, or right after you talked about almost getting diddled by the guy, you said you had another story you really wanted to tell. I don't think it was a TSA thing. It was just like something else. You really
Oh,
wanted to,
it was
you said, I have a really good story.
yeah,
about
it was.
something.
Oh yeah,
It
it
was
was. It was one that wasn't depressing. Cause the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
one was,
yeah.
Yeah,
I
it was
have one
sad.
that's not depressing. Yeah.
It was he was an ecologist, yeah. So his name was Mr. Clark, and
This is back at Bryant.
no, this is actually in college.
What is an ecologist study?
An ecologist? Man, dude, don't put me on the spot like that. But they do like secession and like different like environments and like
They study ecology, man.
yeah, it's like okay, so
Thanks for that, Spencer.
when a forest gets
Yeah,
completely
yeah,
demolished,
an
you got grass that pops
ecosystem,
up,
and
then that grass dies, and seeds and birds come and plant flowers, and that pops up. And then an oak tree comes.
ecology is the
yeah,
study of the
it's-
ecosystem.
Yeah, and how rivers and creeks form. Yeah. So
Water cycle, baby.
it was really cool. Honestly, I actually just really enjoyed it. I just couldn't think of it like right off the top at the moment, but I got to get pretty, know him pretty well, and I don't know, just this one time he was like having this field trip to like Blakely State Park,
Yeah.
and
I've been
where historical buffs, wasn't that like the last
It was
Civil War
the
battle or something like
last
that?
battle this side of the Mississippi, I think, of the Civil War.
Yeah. Like the war was over and like 6,000, 10,000 people just lost their lives for no reason. Like,
Yeah.
The war was over.
Yeah.
It's kind of really sad. But anyways, so they have all these roads and they have dirt roads back there. And some of these dirt roads have like fairly large like hills or little jumps
Yeah.
for the curious or someone who just wants to launch their car. And
And
I'm
Duke
sitting
boys
there-
are at it again.
Yeah.
I'm like sitting in the back. It's like three of us. It's like one student in the front, like or am I think I'm in the passenger seat, and there's like two in the back seat. And I'm talking to him, and he's like blaring like some hair metal, and he's like all of 78, maybe 60, something like that.
Hell
Just-
yeah.
Hell yeah,
I
dude.
was like, hey, I mean, I really like your music. Like, I'm bonding with him. He's like, yeah, and, talking about like his college days. And then we're coming up on this dirt mound, like really large. And he's like, hey, watch this. And he like elbows me. And he's got like just this Prius front wheel drive, like nothing major. He's like, watch this. And he just sends this thing.
Full
And, dude,
send. Leroy Jenkins.
Bro, he probably weighs like 280 pounds. I'm like not even a buck
10.
50. Yeah. Then like two girls in the back, we'll say 140 each. And we launch and we get air and then we hit the bottom. He just, but behold, the people behind us, he didn't even let them know. So he just sends it and he doesn't even let these girls know behind us. He just
They ain't
like,
even buckled
he
up.
just, Yeah. He just like elbows me. He's like, hey, watch this. And he just sends it. And then these girls are just like screaming in the back and they're just wondering what happens. But that was probably like one of the most entertaining like times I've ever had with like a college professor. But
That is pretty cool.
That's funny.
Full send,
yeah, dude,
out
he
there in Blakely
sent
State
that thing.
Park.
This dude's like 68, like all just listening to hair metal, talking about his good old
Yeah,
That
it's
sounds
like,
like a
it's
dude
like
I like to
blaring
chill
some Motley Crue, hitting jumps in his Prius.
So, yeah.
Dude, that's a cool, like, it's kind of cool to bond with somebody that's like 78, 85 years old and just talk to them when they're real chill because they have a different perspective.
Yeah.
It's like a neighbor I had. He's real cool. I still talk to him, whose grandfather was in the Civil War that he had talked to, which is crazy to me.
Crazy to think about.
But anyway, we'll get to talking about something, and sometimes he loses me a bit because he'll get talking about.
Wasn't he a fighter pilot in the Vietnam War?
Yes, and he gets to talking about Vietnam, and the manner in which he discusses it is a little inappropriate for me. He's like, man, I was catching bodies. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, he doesn't mean any harm by it, but his vocabulary is just so hardened from talking about it over time. But he doesn't, like, boast that he's just taking lives. But you could, the gist was he was just so, like...
It's quick talk.
Quick talk, yeah. Just the way he fires it at me. He means well. He's a great dude, but he'll be like, yeah, man, I was up there. I was a tail gunner. Let me tell you, I put that damn thermal scope on because it was just a... time now we got the thermal technology and I'm just shooting anything glowing. I'm like, good God almighty. Yeah, and it's just but it was enemy territory.
So
he was doing
small
the right
child
thing.
or
Feel free to bleep this, but it's kind of funny to talk to those guys and that guy himself, and he's like, dude, I was just taking all the out, down.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying?
Just bleep.
Yeah. But using that type of thing.
Yeah, and you're just like, dude.
Yeah, so
like,
you catch you off guard with it, like, oh man.
When somebody hits you with that in public, you look left and you're like, Jesus.
I'm not with him.
Jesus, man.
Like Mr. Eubanks comes in the pawn shop all the time. You know Mr.
Does he
Eubanks.
be saying racist shit too?
Oh yeah, dude. He'll come in all the time, and he'll be like, he just like looks at random guys like, you in the military? And I'm like, nah, man, I wasn't. And he's like,
just don't want to hear his shit.
No, because one time I told him I was. He always forgets. He's old as fuck. And
that's the same questions every time.
well, the one time I told him I was, he's like, well, I was in Vietnam. And like this dude's all about like 5'4", and he looks like a fucking
heavy set.
Who's that chick like off of Willy Wonka who ate the bubble gum, turned blue, turned to a little ball and blew away. And a little blueberry, whatever it's turned into.
Little round jolly fella.
Oh yeah, that's him.
You push him, he roll back up onto his feet.
Oh yeah, and he's just like, and he's like pulling out all those knives and stuff like that, and he's just like talking about like he's like killing folks and like everything like that. And I'm like, dude, I was like, I don't believe this guy actually did any of this. I mean, he could have, but look at his body type that he is now, and like I know, as you get older, you're a little shorter, but I mean. I'm pretty sure back in that time, in like military, like height went into play a lot if you were in action.
To be fair, the Viet Cong were all 5'5", 5'6".
They didn't have the best nutrition either.
Yeah, they didn't have the best nutrition. They just had Russian supplied AKs and fucked shit up.
Russian supplied AKs.
Yes, exactly. While we were still using M14s.
Hey, that
is way above me.
Hey, so the whole catching bodies thing that reminded me of
There's two euphemisms for that. It's like either catching bodies, like literally, busting people, or catching bodies, just fucking bitches all the time.
Fuck with me and get some money.
Well, I'm sure him being a fighter pilot in the Vietnam War, dude, that dude fucked.
So there was this guy. So there's this guy I went to college with, and I'm not gonna say his name, but he was a Marine, and he probably did like 9 years active, 8 years active, whatever it was, and he has some of the worst PTSD I've seen. It's not a laughing matter. He's cool with it. He's a twitchy fucker. He's on all kind of medicine. Let me tell you about this guy. This guy was one of my good friends I still talk to, and he has about 3 different ex-wives, bunch of baby mamas, a lot of drama like that. And at the time, he was on all those meds.
A bar.
He was on all these meds. He was drinking caffeine all day. He's hyped up in class. He's literally like the Big Lebowski guy that freaks out all the time, John Goodman.
Oh yeah, John Goodman.
And I remember this. He had this brother-in-law or ex-brother-in-law or something, and I remember mentioning the brother-in-law. I was like, "Hey, how's the so-and-so?" He's like, "I don't give a fuck about that little bastard," and he just starts losing his shit in the hallway, and like people around. He's like, "I was catching bodies in Iraq while he was in diapers," and I was like, "Oh my God!" And it was like, "Oh, I just asked like how the fucking guy was." He just starts going on a tangent. But yeah, he used to. That guy was a good time, man. Shout out to my buddy. You know who you are, but
Oh.
Yep. He's a good friend, man, and hope he listens to the podcast. I mean, he's rolling in dough right now, making stupid money.
Well, hey, Barry just went to Colorado. You have a good time, man?
Yes.
Oh, dude, I did a bunch of shit in Colorado, dude. Like, we were nonstop. I mean, I was there for 6 days, and flew to Denver, saw one of my old Army buddies, and like, dude, we done so much from fucking snowboarding. We went skeet shooting. No, it was definitely really cool. Like, we rode around a golf cart. Like, we're in the next little spot. They like throw out the clay. Like, you press a button, throws the clays out for you. It was awesome.
Yeah, dude, I love that. What'd y'all shoot with?
Didn't you say it was like a golf course for skeet shooting?
Yeah, it was like a golf course for skeet shooting. It was super sweet.
Rode the golf cart and everything.
Yeah.
went
Oh
to
yeah,
the
absolutely. Yeah. And then, but no, Andrew had a couple guns we shot. He had a some semi-automatic. It was pretty cool. It had like a bunch of blue little internals and stuff like that. It was a little decked out. And then we shot like a over and under 12, and he had a pump action as well.
Oh, that 12 must have been fun
cool.
shooting all the time.
Busting.
Be like, oh, my arm's so sore.
Hurt your shoulder.
Oh no, yeah, we all.
You guys are a bunch of pussies.
Well,
man.
well, actually, I'm not. But
yeah, we shot.
I used to just shoot with like a 20
300
gauge
rounds
or
that day.
16.
Yeah, you can shoot 12 gauge all day, man.
Yeah,
I do.
shoot 12.
well, hey, man.
it
Okay,
was
cool.
Like
So impressive.
So that over and under, like it would smack the fuck out of you, but a semi-auto, it had better recoil on it.
Yeah.
Well, over under in a pump, how about the same?
But
It all depends. It just all depends what you're shooting. You're shooting what? 7-shot, 8-shot.
Yeah, something like this regular old Winchester target load.
Hey,
But
yeah.
actually, you know what's crazy though? Like like right now, there's an ammo shortage.
Yeah.
And so I guess like Winchester's like really pumping out rounds right now. We probably had like 8 duds.
Really?
Ooh.
Oh, they're
Quality control
they're
going down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so we were talking about the
QA's going down a lot.
we were talking about the Marine buddy I have in college. It reminded me of this story I hadn't thought about till now, but you guys probably get a kick out of it. So there was this other kid that was a Marine, and he was the type of guy that let everybody know it. It's all he wants to talk about years later.
Yeah, I'll let everybody know I was a Marine.
Yeah, that type of thing. And
Didn't get paid shit. And,
he was legit the crayon eater meme. The guy was really just dingy. I mean,
He was a
good.
tool.
Yeah, but anyway, so there was this one day we were in class, and I got 2 stories about this fella. One of them was we were in class, and he was in several of my classes. I couldn't keep up with which ones. You know, you see the same folks in your classes, and I just remember he comes in, sits in the front row one day, and is listening to the lecture and just going along with it, raising his hands, participating, laughing, kind of talking, being obnoxious and stuff when he shouldn't be. And then about 20 minutes in, that fucker says, "Hey, I'm not even supposed to be in this class. I don't have this class," and just gets up and walks the fuck out. And I was like, really? Like, took you that long? But anyway, that same guy in class one day, before it started, he turns around and told us a story that just happened to him where he was trying to pull out of his driveway, and it's like a neighborhood, slow rolling neighborhood, like 15, 20 mile an hour. He come out of his driveway, and somebody cruises by. And as he's taking a right, they like slow roll T-bone him. I don't know why. They're probably texting or something. And he's like, "Yeah, man, it was this old man, and I fucking got out of that son of a bitch." And he said it was really slow when they hit. He's talking a couple mile an hour. He's like, "I got out of my fucking car. I snatched that fucker out, and I said, 'Hey, man, yada yada yada.'" And the guy's scared to death. And he's like, "So then I asked him to give me some money, and we wouldn't have any issues, and we went about our day." I'm like, "You just robbed that fucking guy." He's like, "Nah, man." He said, I said, "Dude, no, you threatened that guy, scared him to death. You just fucking robbed him." And we were all laughing. We shouldn't have been laughing. This dumb son of a bitch didn't realize he just robbed this
80-year-old man.
And the old guy was probably like, "Let me just reach and get my insurance." He's like, "Give me your fucking money." And legit.
Yanked him up by his damn polo shirt and his windbreaker jacket. Yanked him out of his
robbed the fuck out of
Velcro
him.
shoes and his
And when
suspenders.
he told this story, our reaction was
He was
just
like
that.
proud of it.
Yeah, he was proud of it, and he's like, "Yeah, man," and I took his fucking money for hurting my car. I was like, "Did it even mess your car up?" He's like, "Nah, man, it wasn't even really no buffs or nothing there. He barely hit me." I'm like, "Dude." When he said that, everybody was silent for a minute, and I looked at my buddy at the time, and like, he just fucking robbed that guy. He doesn't even register. How many crimes does this guy run around just committing, not knowing he's doing it?
Here comes the bicyclist.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, that's fuck.
Oh.
That's awesome though.
Yeah,
Damn
that's
good story.
That's funny as fuck.
So other than like skeet shooting, what else?
Of course, we went snowboarding at Keystone. That was awesome.
Yeah.
We did play golf. Like my buddy Andrew lives on a golf course. So we play golf there. Play like 9 holes. It was actually really fun. And I actually used like left-handed golf clubs for like the first time.
You say live near or live at a golf course? Lives at a golf course. That's a problem. You need to help your buddy out.
What?
He doesn't, he's not like living in the fucking 9-hole. No, like his house.
He cuts the grass for the 8.
No, like
He just sleeps by the.
so he lives like in a neighborhood, and like the golf course runs through the neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That makes sense. Lives
it's
in
all
it.
really nice.
Oh, your poor buddy.
Oh, but we did so much. Went to the casino.
One big, huh?
Oh yeah.
No, we went to the casino. Yeah, so we went to the casino, and the first night we went to the casino, so it was like right after we left like Keystone, and I'm like tired as fuck, done bust my ass 1,000 times snowboarding, and I was like, yeah, man. I was like, yeah, we'll go to the casino real quick. We'll have some fun. I have, because I brought some cash with me. I had like $115 left in cash. Like, oh, well, I'll play off this cash and I'll grab some more. I was already expecting to grab like $200 extra. And so that $115, and Andrew's sitting right next to him in a slot machine. He's just like playing, boom, wins like $800. I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm like getting all hyped up. I'm like, I'm gonna win some money too,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting all hyped up, and then and like boom, he hits for like another like $1,500, and he plays that shit like way down. I'm like, man, I ain't winning shit. Like, so I'm a little $100 on the machine. He's like, dude, you're not betting enough. And I was like, all right, cool. So I brought up like $9 of fucking spin on the slot machine. Boom, hit for like $1,100.
Oh my.
Wow.
And
God.
and so I played it down like $1,030. And like this is like my original $100. I'm like, all right, cool, And he's like, dude, let's go play some blackjack. And I was like, cool, we go over to play blackjack. And then I got up to about $400 plus on like blackjack. I gave him like gave him $100 in chip, like $100 bill, and then got up like $400, and then I played that down to like where I walked out of the casino with like $260, and well like $1,260. I'm sorry, and
Like,
Lost
you
a
lost
lot.
all that money?
Dang, man, you won a
and
bunch
so
of
I'm like,
lives.
we're all hyped up, whatever. We go home, whatever. And then last night, like we're bullshitting. I was like, oh, it was last night here. Like we ate dinner, and like we're bullshitting around. Like we had this like really good like chicken casserole, and Andrew made, and like me, him, and Callie, his fiance, we're sitting around bullshitting, and we're like, dude, let's go to the fucking casino. And we're like, yeah, let's go. And then, dude, within 5 minutes of us going to the casino, which is like 45-minute drive. And like we're like we're way too hyped up, like, oh yeah, we're gonna win all this money, blah 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 blah. So no, we gotta start shit talking ourselves. We're talking ourselves up too much. We're gonna get fucking carried away. We're not gonna win shit. And so it's been a couple days since I went to the casino, so you only had like $900 of that left. So I left $600 at the house. I was like, I'm bringing $300 with me. It's like it's all free money anyways. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's all make believe. And
I mean, it's here, but I want it.
but
The
it
dollar's
doesn't-
not
it
based on
doesn't
the
seem
gold
real.
standard anyway. It's all
And-
fake.
Yeah, it's all fake. And so last night, we get to the fucking casino. Within like 5 minutes of me being there, I'm like playing on that same slot machine again. Boom, hit $1,200.
Wow.
And then I'm like, fuck yeah. And Andrew's like, dude, he's like, pull it out. I was like, no, man, it's cool. Hit the button like 3 more times. Boom, brought it right up 2,000. Like same slot machine. I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm all hyped up. And then like within like 30 seconds after that, he hits for like $1,500 in the slot machine he was at.
Damn.
Damn,
And
dude.
Dude.
Y'all cleaning house.
And oh no, well, like the first time we were playing blackjack, Andrew walked out of the casino with like $2,500.
Shit.
That's
My
And
God.
which he, I think he started out with a little more money. I did. Like he brought like $300 with him, but still.
That's crazy.
And then of course last night when we were there, he then we go over there to so I got this $2,000 here, and then I'm like, all right, cool, we'll go play some blackjack. We're playing some blackjack, whatever, and I wound up like losing like $200 playing blackjack, and then I go to the slot machines and I wound up like losing like $300 more. So I walk out the casino like $1,600 in my pocket.
Hell yeah.
Which I started out with $300 last night. So I did really good. But Andrew wound up walking out. He brought $500 with him. He wound up giving Callie, like as he was winning money, he's like, here, gamble this. Mm-hmm. And he wound up giving her like, it was like $500 or $600 like gamble with, and he still walked out with like $2,900 last night for playing.
Wow.
Damn, I need to go gamble with y'all.
And oh, dude, it would never
picking the
happen. It would
machines.
never happen other than like Andrew. Like the sun always shines on Andrew.
He does. It does. It does,
The
man.
sun always shines.
And like, no, that dude just got it made. Oh man, are we running short on time now?
No.
Now
we're
we're gonna read a couple emails here.
Oh yeah.
And
What
this
do you-
one, we brought this on ourselves, people. So listeners out there that are, yeah. So for our listeners out there who are kind of sensitive, which I mean, to be fair, you probably wouldn't have made it this far because we covered a lot of topics so far.
We need to make a little shit talk jingle.
Yeah, well, yeah. So
I'm thinking the
we
shit
will.
talk time.
Shit talk.
We'll-
The shit talk time.
We'll write a riff
Shit
for it and record it.
talk.
We'll write a riff and record it and we'll play it. So here's the deal. So this is from a guy who wants to remain anonymous, and he said, "Fuck you, Spencer, you long-haired shit. I know what you did to those 4 10-year-olds a few weeks ago, you disgusting bastard." Okay, that's not cool. All right. That's
Damn.
just not cool.
4 10-year-olds.
My
Four.
God. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Oh my
I do like that. He's just jealous he wasn't the 10-year-old that was a part of
Oh,
it.
Jesus Christ, we're not doing this. Little tasteless. Another guy says, Jay says, happy birthday to Michael. It's his birthday the other day. 48 has never looked so good. All right.
Oh, that's
Well,
so sweet.
He's probably talking about the tan lines on your feet, Michael.
I was 42 just like yesterday, so.
Here's another one. This is from a buddy named Evan. He says, I've got a funny story in regards to the plasma questionnaire. The food for sex, I've got a good one. Bring me on. We'll see what we can do about that. Let's see what some other ones. We got some other people here that like to. Okay, so here's one. This guy's just shitting on everybody. I'm just going to read some of the highlights. It's a long email, but he says...
I love it. Just read it.
He says, Michael is a little Disney princess bitch. Okay? How do you sit there and say, let's keep digging a hole and hating myself and ruining my life because I married this person? He's referring to a podcast.
He's referring to a podcast that we had
a
about...
previous episode.
About another person that wrote in asking about, if his girlfriend's getting bigger or something like that, and he's curious if he should leave her.
Yeah, so it says this goes,
Which I disagreed with.
and the guy says this goes both way. This goes both ways with man or woman. You don't have to stay with someone if you've done everything you can do to help them out their funk, and they continue to dig and drag you down. Okay, so he says on another note, Barry, how's your dick not covered in sores? But for real, if I ever need a wingman to go in and handle the ugly bitch, you're on speed dial. Okay.
Nice.
He
Thank
says, and then he says Spencer, and he just puts a space and goes on to me. So that says a lot about what
Is
he
it
thinks.
Spencer?
Yeah.
Russell now.
Yeah, he says, Rusty, I don't know what to say about you. I'm not really good at this, so that'll do, pig. But he says, no, but the big women community probably appreciate your efforts, and there will be a place for you in Valhalla. You're a true warrior. All right. Well.
Was that all of them?
Yeah.
No, there's got to be some more, man.
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
man, that was
That was
good.
good.
Hey, man,
I
our
appreciate
podcast is only 3 viewers big, so it's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what's
And
up.
if them 3 viewers keep sending emails,
Yeah, man,
one day
we-
we'll have 9 emails.
Yeah.
And 2 in spam.
And 2 in Spain.
You guys are some little shit talkers, man. I tell you what, because
Well,
we
at least
asked
he
for
said
it.
he put you in a good place for you in Valhalla, man. Somebody's
Yeah.
got to do it.
Yeah.
It's a trick.
I'm just running around like a
Oh man.
battle axe.
You know,
slaying them.
what? I do appreciate the listeners we do have, man, because I do get texts and people hit me up saying, hey, it's funny, sometimes it's like, hey man, it's pretty shitty, but hey, I appreciate them all,
So, with this moment and all that's coming and the podcast has been growing, I'd like to take a chance and thank absolutely fucking no one. None of you
Yeah.
people. It's all our doing.
Yeah,
You're just here.
Yeah, we're giving
I'd like to
thanks to
thank
ourselves this Thanksgiving. And fuck y'all, nothing's going on sale for Black Friday.
Yeah.
We're paying full price for the shirts.
Yeah. Barry and Michael got us here, not you people. I don't give a shit about you, all right? These 3 little bitches right here, they make my money, all right? Not you. They make my money.
Bottom bitch.
Yeah.
Gotta get lucky.
Barry's my bottom bitch. The bald-headed freak.
Oh, you keep me in these gator shoes though, baby.
Oh, man. So what was, let me ask y'all this. What is the weirdest thing somebody's ever said at, like, the Thanksgiving table? That really made you uncomfortable.
Besides Grace, I'm sure.
Oh, that's fucked. No, I did have a cousin of mine. I made her leave for Thanksgiving and then turned around and made her leave again for Christmas.
Oh.
That's how much of a dick I was.
Yeah, this is just the perfect
Yeah, but anyway,
encompass
so
of Spencer.
anyway, we were sitting at a dinner table one day, and I love her to death. She's still my favorite, but she's a little sensitive, and she has this extremely obnoxious laugh. And I just at some point I got fed up. I'm sitting there trying to eat my banana pudding and enjoy myself, and
How dare she come in my presence?
Yeah, I swear.
Hey, side note, I did see what your grandma said on Facebook where she's making banana pudding Thursday morning, and I will be by there.
I will.
Shout out to
Two.
Mamaw. Please never listen to this podcast. All right.
But anyway, and so what ended up happening was we were sitting there like eating food or whatever, and everybody's telling stories back and forth, and she just keeps going with this laugh, like just as this most obnoxious laugh.
Like a sitcom
And I'm just
laugh.
sitting there just stewing, just like white knuckling it, just can't handle it anymore because she's sitting right next to me. And then just like the little like dickhead little 14-year-old I was at the time, and I just looked at her and just in her and went, freaked out in her ear, and she just like stands up, cries, and leaves. Didn't say bye to nobody. She's like, "Fuck you," and just like leaves. I'm like, "All right, whatever."
So
I'll see you next Thanksgiving.
That's so mean.
It is.
Another Thanksgiving I had, it was funny to me, but it was awkward to the guy's mom. So, again, back to the Huntsville stories. I used to go up there all the time and see some people. And the guy's my age named Russell, who is a very eccentric, fun, oddball. He's like Charlie off of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It kind of reminds me of Charlie. And there was this big, huge family gathering for Thanksgiving. They have friends from out of town. You're talking about a big event at this house. You're probably 40, 50 people that cross through here a day, right? Family, extended family. And Russell decides to go in his room, and then there's all these, nice, sort of well-spoken, uppity folk, and they're all cool and all. And then Russell goes in his room. He puts on some white American Eagle pants, a blues hat, a furry Hollister coat, takes his shirt off, walks up in there, and he's just got his abs showing, looking like a fucking tool bag, and he just sits.
He didn't have like the oversized like douche sunglasses on.
Yeah, probably. I don't remember.
Should have spiked his hair and everything.
He straight up come in there looking like Shamar Moore, you know what I'm saying, and just abs showing, and then just sits at the Thanksgiving table, and his mom looks right at him. Russell, go back to your room and put some clothes on. I was just fucking dying. And we're all egging him on, we're young, like, yeah, do that shit. Russell sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Russell, speaking of that, talk about the times that you used to be like right at like even during high school or towards the end of it, and then after high school, you specifically dressed like a douchebag.
Yes.
Like to go to parties.
So
and stuff like that.
that guy is actually who influenced me to start doing that at like a 13, 14-year-old. I saw him do it, and I was like, dude, he actually gets a lot of female compliments from doing this. It is the weirdest damn thing I've ever seen. He wore the most obnoxious, like, it looks like he's a backup singer at like a fucking Prince concert or some just ridiculous outfit. And they'll just come up and talk, I love your fucking purple tux you got, or just dumb shit, right? Yeah. And I went to this party one time, and I used to literally ask Spencer before I went to a party, hey, does this look douchey, man?
Dude, he would start dressing, putting on different clothes and stuff like that. It's like, dude, is this not the most douchiest thing you've ever seen? I'm like, no, not quite. You need to put this on.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, let's go.
Get the armband.
So I did this I'm gonna tell you about it. It lasted a little too long. I did it because it was funny, but it
became 100% a part of his personality.
It did, and like I said, it was really funny from about 15 to 18 in high school. But when I got to college, it's probably time to hang this up. But then this is how I stopped doing it after college. But my first year at this junior college, I literally showed up to class with a orange polo jacket with a collar on it, and I had a white Auburn visor, so the football team Auburn, it's real big down here. So I'm wearing an Auburn visor, and I had a full Chuck Liddell mohawk, and I had pencil-thin beard going. I literally took this visor, flipped it upside down, turned it around, and wore that bitch with the mohawk showing, so you could look down, see mohawk, upside down, backwards visor hat. Wow. And I look like a fucking douche, and I can talk to some girls, believe it or not. It's not because I was cool or charming. They're like, oh my God, I love your hat style. I'm like,
I love your hat style.
I was like, you do? I was like, I love everybody hate me.
God damn it.
Let me fix it then.
And so so the most obnoxious one I wore, and funny enough, I actually did get a very, very dry hand job out of this. But
very.
Listen, so I showed up to this party again with a blue polo, and I do like Ralph Lauren polo fucking shirt, right? Collared shirt.
Did you have the collar pop?
Yeah, I had the collar pop.
There you go.
I wore an American flag tie, khaki shorts, some high top Converses, and I wore a King's crown that I won in high school for like some stupid shit.
Oh, you won prom king.
Prom king, and I had this King's crown up, an American flag, and I went and I had Ray-Bans on, or gas station Ray-Bans. Went to this fucking party at like Gulf Shores or something. Yeah, it was Gulf Shores. 2014 spring break, because my buddies who were still in high school had their spring break, so I visited. And I wore this, and some chick from a rival high school who she was, a senior or whatever, and I was just out of high school. And so she seen me. She thought it was funny and wanted me to go to her car and invited me to her car. And she said she's not the type of girl that sucks dick, but apparently she was the type of girl that wants to fuck in her back seat of the first 10 minutes of me knowing her and give me a very dry hand job and other things. And actually, no, it was a little more than that. I walked out. We was at this hotel. We was talking. I went and took her out on the pier, and I played Puddle of Mud, She Hates Me, on the acoustic guitar.
Oh, dude, Russell used to play that shit. Russell, there's like several songs I can't listen to just because Russell used to cover them all the time.
Well, because, I go to a party, and I rehearsed these covers pretty well, and I knew them pretty well, and I sang them pretty well, and I did good on them. So I was like, well, it was about 10. It was about 10 of them that I just...
A few Smashing Pumpkins songs.
A few Smashing Pumpkins, yeah. But anyway, I just thought it was so funny. Here I look like the biggest fucking douchebag on planet. Like, I know when I walked in that party, most of these guys were my friends, but the ones that weren't, that were like they're like, man, I want to punch this fucker walking in the door right now. Look at this stupid tie. America my ass.
Well, there's a term for that. It's called peacocking, man.
Yeah,
it totally works.
It works, man.
Right.
I don't make the rules. I just embrace the fruits.
Yeah, the fruits of your labors, man. Well, I guess with that, we're going to shut this Thanksgiving Day special down. And hope y'all enjoyed listening. And come check us out on the next one. Be sure to send us some more emails at rustychatters@gmail.com.
Yep, follow us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Peace.